Today we will be flowing through our practice quite quickly, so all you need is a mat. We're going to start by inhaling, arms up overhead, palms touch. Bring them down through heart center on the exhale. Inhale, arms up, palms touch. Exhale, down through heart center. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, circle forward and do some hip circles from our easy Sukhasana cross-legged seat. Circle forward and bring it back, stretching out the hips and the obliques. You can do as many circles as you'd like here to stretch it out. And then we're going to inhale, arms up, and then bring them straight in front of you to the floor for a cross-legged forward fold. You can drop your head and neck here. Feel the stretch all down the spine. If this is too much, you can always extend your legs out wide for a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen a little further. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lengthen a little bit further. You can begin by bringing your arms over toward the right, stretching out the side body, the right just in front of you. You can bring them a little further right, stretching out the back, and then bring them forward, folding forward. You can bring them toward the left side, staying in that cross-legged forward fold. The left in front of you. Feel the stretch through the side body. You can bring them a little more to the left and then back to center. You can begin to bring your hands up. You can place them on your knees or begin to roll the shoulders back. You can shrug them up toward the ears and drop them back. And then maybe switch directions. And then begin to roll over into a tabletop position. So our shoulders over our wrists, hips over our knees. And we're going to start with some cat-cow. So inhale, gaze up, tailbone up, belly drops, cow. Exhale for cat. Back rounds, tailbone down, gazing down. Feel the flexion in the spine here. Inhale for cow, gazing up, tailbone up, belly drops, and exhale, cat, back rounds like a cat. You can flow through this at your own rate, your own breath. And then begin to lift that right leg up high with a bent knee. We're going to lift it and then bring it up toward the elbow. Lift it up and back, up toward the elbow for a little bit of a glute workout and an oblique workout. Up and in toward the elbow. Inhale up, exhale, crunch it in. A few more, inhale up, exhale, crunch it in. And always go at your own rate. If you want to pause the video and continue with some more of these, you can always do that. And then drop the knee, maybe roll out that wrist. You can always roll out the other wrist too. And then switch sides. So left leg up and back. Inhale, bring it, crunch it in. Lift it up and back. And crunch it in toward that left elbow. Bring it back and crunch it in. Getting our glute workout and our oblique workout. Bring it back and bring it forward. A full body workout here. Those arms are working, keeping you up. And then you can drop the leg and roll out those wrists once again. Tuck the toes under and lift those hips up toward the sky for a downward facing dog. You can pedal out your dog here. Press it out through all of your fingers and your palms to flatten the back. You can always roll out your head here, yes and no. And then gaze between your hands and come to walk to the front of your mat into your forward fold, fingertips toward the earth. Maybe swaying left and right here, nodding the head yes and shaking the head no. You can keep a deep bend in the knees, maybe rolling out the wrists. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine, gazing in front of you. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lift and lengthen, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And lift that right leg up and back into a lunge. You can drop that knee for a low lunge. Your left knee is stacked over top of your left ankle. Arms can come up above the head if you wish. You can always leave them on the knee if you're working on balance. And try to gaze up, whether it's in between the hands or up to the ceiling. And you can step back into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. And ripple forward, high plank. Lower down through chaturanga from toes or knees. Inhale, baby cobra. Head and chest lifts or king cobra. Arms extended, pelvis on the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Press it back. Pedal it out once again. Right leg comes up and high, three-legged dog. And bring it up in between the hands for a lunge. You can untuck that left toe and drop the knee for a low lunge. Arms can come up or stay low. And try to gaze up for a slight back bend here. Drop the hands down, tuck the back toe, and bring that left foot up to meet the right into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Remembering to breathe here. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold down. Reverse swan dive, arms up, palms touch overhead, down to heart center. Arms up overhead, palms touch, bow forward into your forward fold. Right leg comes up and back into a lunge. Left knee is stacked over top of left ankle. And we're going to stay high on the ball of the back foot here for a high crescent lunge. Arms interlaced behind the head for a bit of a stretch through the chest. And try to lunge in a little deeper. Keeping that knee stacked over top of the ankle. Maybe gazing up toward the ceiling for a slight back bend. And then bring the hands behind the back, interlace, and drop the upper body to the inside of the left knee for our humble warrior. Gazing down at the mat. Try to bring the hands a little further away from the bum. And then you can come back up into your high crescent lunge. Drop the fingertips, left leg meets the right leg back in your downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Ripple forward, high plank. From toes or knees, chaturanga, lowering down. Untuck the toes. Baby cobra or king cobra here. Head and chest lifts or upper body lifts. And then press back, downward facing dog. Right leg comes high and up. And bring it forward into your high crescent lunge on the other side. So maybe gazing up in between those hands, and then interlace the fingers and bring the hands behind the head. Pressing into that lunge. Your right knee stacked over top of right ankle. And then interlace the hands behind the back and drop the upper body to the inside of that right thigh. Trying to pull those hands further away from the bum for a shoulder stretch. Staying high on the ball of the back foot. And then back to center. Arms can come up. And then drop them down to frame the foot. Left foot comes up to meet the right. Forward fold. And you can sway it out here. Take a few breaths. Maybe come into your ragdoll. Opposite hand reaching for opposite elbow. Swing all the way over to the right and all the way over to the left, stretching the back, stretching the glutes. Reaching it over and then come to center, drop the fingertips Inhale, halfway lift, lift and lengthen. Hands can come to the shins or palms face each other. Forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale for your fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms come up overhead and then down through heart center. Come into your mountain pose. So about feet hip width apart. Hands to your sides. And then on the inhale, that right leg is going to turn out to the right side of the room into our tree. So that sole of the foot can come to the ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Arms can stay at heart center or grow your branches wherever they want to go. So whether that's up, maybe to the sides, maybe cactus arms, behind the back. And concentrate. Hands can come back to heart center whenever you're ready. And drop the foot and switch sides. Left leg coming to the ankle, calf, or upper thigh. Hands can remain at heart center or arms open wide. Again, your branches can go wherever they want to go. Maybe they're swaying in the wind, and that's fine. If your balance is a little off today, holding your core to keep your balance. And breathe. You can turn that foot in whenever you'd like. Drop it down. Come back to your mountain pose, Tadasana. Maybe roll those shoulders back a little bit. A couple shoulder rolls. Take one more inhale. Arms up, palms touch overhead. Optional back bend. Exhale. Bow forward into your forward fold. Right leg coming about mid-mat into our warrior one. So toes are pointing toward the right side, the right corner of that mat, your yoga mat, and lunging into that left knee. Maybe walking the toes a little further if you don't feel the stretch down the back of your right leg. Arms come up overhead, hips are level. Turn toward the front of the room, maybe gazing up in between the hands or to the floor in front of you if you need a little help with your balance. Finding a focal point on the wall. And then that right leg is coming up with a bent knee. Open that hip to the side, reaching for the outer edge of that right knee. Toes are flexed toward the knee. And then left arm can be out to the side in whatever way you want it to be, whether you're just holding the hand out or the fingers come into a mudra. It's your choice, your practice. Try to open that hip a little further out, and then use your balance to drop those hands toward the mat. Right foot coming back, and open up those hips. Foot is extended behind you into the sky for your half moon pose. Your right hand can come towards your hip or maybe reach toward the sky. Left hand can remain on the floor, or if you have a block or a pillow or something, if you need a little more height. And then drop that right foot back down into your warrior one. Toes pointed toward the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Arms come up high above the head. For a breath, inhale. Exhale. Now bringing that right foot back, turning the toes out toward the side of the room. Arms pierce out in both directions, in front of you and behind you. Lunging through that left knee, gazing toward the left hand, warrior two. Pressing out toward the outside edges of that back foot. Your upper body is right above your lower body. And then bring that left hand up and over for peaceful warrior. Right hand can come down the thigh or behind the back. Whatever feels good. Gazing up toward that left hand. Keeping the lunge in your knees. And then back to warrior two, arms piercing out. Left arm can come to the left thigh. Right arm swinging up and over the head. And just breathing. Back to warrior two, pressing into the lunge. And then turn those left toes parallel to the right toes. Bring your hands to your hips and begin to fold forward, hinging at the waist into your wide-legged forward fold. Hands can drop to the mat. Fingertips maybe stay underneath the shoulders, or maybe reaching for the ankles, or dropping the forearms to the mat. Seeing how close you can get your head to the mat. You can always widen your stance here too if that feels better. Bring your hands back to your hips and begin to come up. Open that right foot to the front of the room. Toes pointing forward and left foot on a 45-degree angle. So your left toes are pointed toward the upper left corner of the mat. Into your warrior one. Arms come up straight above the head. Lunging into that front right knee. You can be gazing up between the hands toward the ceiling. Getting a slight back bend here. You can always readjust your stance if it doesn't quite feel right. Whether that's scooching those right toes a little more forward or the left toes moving them out, whatever feels good. Begin to place the weight into your right foot as you lift the left leg up and over, bending at the knee, holding that left knee in your hand, the outer edge of it, opening up the hips. Right arm can come out to the side in whatever way you want. Feeling those hips open up, the weight in that right standing leg, keeping a slight micro bend in the knee, not to hyperextend the leg with this extra weight. And then begin to lift that leg up and back in the air for your half moon, hips opening up. Fingertips can stay on the mat, or bring that left hand to the left hip. You maybe are beginning to lift that left hand up into the air, gazing toward the hand. Or maybe your gaze stays on the floor. You're trying to keep your balance. Bring both hands to the mat and step that left foot down into a 45-degree angle back into your warrior one. Adjusting your stance here, lunging out through the right leg, knee over ankle, gazing up in between the hands that are raised above the head. And then begin to open up those left toes toward the side of the room. Open the arms up into your warrior two, piercing out through the fingers, gazing toward those right fingertips, lunging deeper, and breathing. Try to focus on the breath. You inhale, your right arm is going to come up overhead for your peaceful warrior. Left arm can come down the thigh or behind the back, whatever works for you. And gazing up toward that lifted right hand, the hand that's above the face. Arms can come out, warrior two. And then bring that right elbow to the inside of the right knee, keeping a lunge in the leg. Left arm swinging up and over the head, reaching toward the side of the room, feeling the side body stretch. Every arm and leg is working here. And then swing back up to your warrior two. You can begin to heel toe that foot in and then come to stand at the front of your mat. Arms up overhead, palms touch, optional back bend. Exhale, forward fold, bowing down. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. One at a time, legs come back, flowing down from high plank through chaturanga. Belly to the mat. Come up, baby cobra or king cobra. And then exhale, hips back into your tabletop. Open the knees wide to the edges of the mat and drop the hips down toward the heels. Hands in front of you, child's pose, forehead to mat. Feeling our breath slow down. Slowing down halfway through our flow practice, or 2/3 of the way through. Whenever you're ready, you can begin to walk your hands back toward the body and come to sit down into a cross-legged position. You're going to extend the right leg out in front of you and the left foot coming to the inside of the right thigh. For a separate leg forward fold, arms come up overhead, and exhale, bring them to frame the leg or the foot. We're keeping a flat back here, not rolling down quite yet. Inhale for length, and exhale to come a little closer to the floor with your back flat. Inhale, and exhale, come a little closer. And then when you're ready, you can begin to round forward toward that foot. Head toward the knee. And breathe. You can always take as long as you need here if it feels really good. Or begin to switch sides. Left leg extended out, right leg comes to the inner left thigh. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, folding forward to frame that foot, keeping a flat back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come a little more forward toward that foot. And when you're ready, you can begin to fold down, rounding at the back. Head toward the knee. And breathe. You can inhale for length and exhale forward. Then begin to walk the hands up toward the body. Extend both legs side by side in front of you. Maybe moving the fleshy part of the bum out of the way. Arms up overhead. And exhale into your forward fold, keeping a flat back, walking the hands a little further out toward the feet flex back towards your face, and then rounding forward, forehead toward the knees. If you like, you can bend the knees and bring the arms underneath, hugging the legs a little closer to you. If your hamstrings feel extremely tight, this is a great option. Or reach toward those ankles. Again, not to hyperextend the knees, you want a slight micro bend. You can roll those shoulders back, come back to your seat. Roll them up and over, shrug them up toward the ears. We did a lot of work with our arms and shoulders. And then come to sit in the middle of your mat, and then lie down onto your back. Soles of your feet on the mat, your knees bent. Walk your feet as close to the bum as you can. And then lift the hips high into your bridge pose. Hands can be interlaced underneath the bum or flat on the mat beneath the hips. Walking the shoulder blades under. Lifting those hips a little higher. Inhale, and then exhale one vertebrae at a time, lowering down. Coming into our second round of bridge, lift those hips high. Lift them a little higher, using your lower back muscles. And then exhale, lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Lift both feet up in the air. Lift both arms up in the air. Dead bug pose. You can roll out the wrists, roll out the ankles. You can stay here as long as you'd like in your dead bug, or begin to reach for the outside edges of the feet to come into your happy baby. You can rock side to side, get some movement in there, massaging the low back. You can always extend one foot and then the other, bending the knees. or remain in stillness. Whatever works for you today, this is your practice. Then cross the legs in the air and then come to roll all the way forward into your tabletop position once again. We're going to come into our sunbird. So inhale, right leg up behind you, toes pointed. Maybe rolling out the ankle one more time if you'd like. Right leg out, left arm in front of you, bicep beside the ears. Inhale, knee toward the elbow. Exhale, lengthen it out, sunbird. Inhale, crunch. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, bring it out, extend. Inhale, crunch it in. Exhale, extend. And you can flow through a few more of these at your own rate, your own breath cycle. And then bring them out to the side. So inhale straight. Exhale, left arm goes to the left, right leg goes to the right. 45-degree angles there. Inhale, lift them out. And exhale, bring them back straight. You can drop the arm, drop the leg. Maybe roll out your wrists here. A lot of weight on the wrists. And left leg comes out straight behind you, pointing the toe. Right arm in front of you, bicep toward the ear. Sunbird. Inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale, extend. Inhale, crunch it in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, lengthen. And then flow at your own breath. Getting in a little more core work as we go through. Keep going, a few more. Inhale, crunch it in. Exhale, extend into your full sunbird. And then we're going to bring the right arm out to the side on the inhale, left leg out to the side. And then on the exhale, bring it back to center. Inhale, bring it out. Exhale, center it in. Inhale out, exhale in. Whenever you're ready, dropping the leg, dropping the hands, rolling out the wrist. And we're going to come back to our bum, into a seat. And then lower back down once again. Feet can stay on the mat, bent knees. Lift those knees up and drop them over to the left, arms out in a T formation, gazing over toward the right hand for a reclined twist. Slowing it down the last few minutes of this practice. Feel the twist all down the back, your heart rate lowering, and breathe. You can lift those knees up whenever you're ready. Drop them toward the right, gaze toward the left. Reclined twist on our other side. And take your time here. If this feels really good, you can just press pause or ignore me for the rest of the clip. Or you can begin to bring those feet to center. Bring the soles of the feet together and then drop the knees out wide for a reclined bound angle. Arms can come up overhead and drop on the floor, framing the head. Reaching for opposite elbow with opposite hand. If you need a little more here, bring the feet closer toward the bum. If you need less, walk them a little further out. And feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you for joining me for this flow. I hope you had an excellent practice in your home. Namaste.